message here saying that we're recording.
Boom! There it is!
Boom! There it is!
Boom, 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 boom!
Hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and thankfully on my somewhat left-hand side is my right-hand man, Gabriel. Gucci! And Gabriel is available for this interview because, well, you're having technical difficulties with your classroom because he's online for school. So
okay.
He would be in class, but he's having technical difficulties and he can't log in. So I said, well, why don't you come hang out with Dad then?
That is right!
And he's super excited. So
he probably learned much more than in school. So
yeah, for sure. He's going to learn more here than he will in school. We know that. That's for sure.
We are much better than the teachers.
That's right. So today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we have Liquid Therapy, and they've got a new album called Breathe, which was released on September 12th. Right now I'm being joined by Gino and Hans to share some more information about what the boys have been up to and what they've got going on, what they've got coming up. So boys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely great to have you guys on. In the beginning there when you guys were saying, hey, thanks for inviting us on. Well, I think the music is really good stuff, and I can see where you guys are headed. To my understanding, across my desk, this is a debut album, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's our first album ever from all of us.
Okay, now does that mean individually or like as a group? Like it's your first album, Gino, it's your first album, Hans, or just like as a group, Liquid Therapy's first album?
Yeah, as a group, it's the first album. I think the other guys, Davey and I, we had some previous things that we released, but it was a different genre and it was something else. I think this is more an ambitious project than we had before. So,
okay, now that's a topic opener right there. You said it's a more ambitious project than you had before. What makes Liquid Therapy? I don't want to say ambitious because that almost sounds kind of rude. What makes it ambitious? But that's kind of my question. What makes it more ambitious?
I think it makes it more ambitious. The fact that the way we approach the things, the way we recorded the music, the work we have put in it. I think we did it semi-professional almost. I think, and we learned a lot in the whole time that we were recording the album. And I think it's a different story than my previous bands. My previous bands were more into punk music and stuff like that. So it was more into drinking beer and having fun. Here it's drinking beer and having fun and having some ambition as well. So I think you can
not drink beer, but we want to be also having fun. So that's a whole part. The ambition part of Liquid Therapy is that our main goal and the greatest goal of the group is to enjoy people on stage. So we want to have that the audience the feeling that they are part of the game, and we hope on great stages to be part of the game. So we are ambitious. When you can dream it, you can do it. But the sky is the limit.
This is true, but there are footprints on the moon. So is the sky actually the limit?
We'll see.
Perfect. Now, this is going to take me straight into a somewhat depressing question, but you mentioned, an ambitious program for audiences and shows and doing the whole thing that I don't think you've been able to do for 2020. So I guess my big first question is, how has this year gone for you guys? Has it been a blessing in disguise at all?
No, it was just shit at all. It was 40 days before the release of the album. We put a show together. There were a couple of hundred people who will come to the release. and 40 days before there was the lockdown. So it was cancelled at first time. Then we postponed the date to 12th of September, and it was the same story. So it was twice.
We had to cancel. Yeah.
So we say we will release digitally the album because it has no sense. But we don't know now which date to pick because what will it be in February? What will it be in March? We don't know.
Yeah, this year we expected very, very much of this year, but this whole situation changed.
We were super excited. We were in the studio from September till January, I think, to record the album, and then to release in March. And we were so motivated and to fill the stages and to do some gigs but nothing happens from till now. So it's not the most exciting year.
Well, I guess that takes me to the next question, which is, it allowed some bands to then concentrate on other things. So instead of concentrating on shows and whatnot, did you guys then maybe go back into the studio and maybe do some more work on the record, or what did you guys do then with the extra time?
Well, I think we basically rehearsed because at first the first months of the lockdown we couldn't even rehearse together because we had to stay in house, so we couldn't meet. So I think from June or July they made the rules a little bit less strict, so we could rehearse again. So from July we are rehearsing again. Then of course we had some holidays and stuff like that. So, and then we had the situation with our drummer who had to leave us because of medical reasons. So then in August we had to look out for a new drummer, which we found now, Christophe. And now we're starting rehearsing with Christophe. So we have to start all over again. Not all over again, but there's a little bit work to do to get him on the same level as our previous drummer. So
you want to have when we are able to that it feels like an old machine. So we had some work to do.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the new drummer, Christophe, I guess two questions are, with everything kind of shut down, how did you guys end up finding a new drummer, and how are you guys able to rehearse, or are you guys allowed to rehearse? Like, how did the whole thing come together? How did you find somebody, and how are you able to rehearse?
Well, there are some Facebook groups over here, so with musicians in. So we put some messages in it to ask for a new drummer, and so. But we can rehearse now. That's no problem. So the rules are not so strict that we can't rehearse no more. That's done for the moment. We can rehearse. So we've done auditions. We've seen some guys to try, and then we pick Christophe out of the candidates. So that was no problem. The auditions were not.
Okay. What does Christophe bring to Liquid Therapy that maybe is new or different?
I think Christophe is a little bit how can you say it? More noisy in his drumming. He hits the drums a little bit harder. He's Also the personality of Christophe, I think it's a really good match with the other guys. We had some very good candidates. Maybe on the same level of Christoph, but I think personally we had the real vibe with him, and then that convinced us to get him on the boat for the future. So I think we'll be fine with him.
It was the only one where we put together, and it was the only one that we feel the vibe on the rehearsal. He pushed us to play harder and to play
louder,
and it was crazy. We didn't met him before, and it was really a nice competition. And we didn't have that with anyone else. The choice was made.
Yeah. So, have you guys worked on any new material, or do the songs then sound different?
Right. We had an agreement with Christoph. He can put some of his own in some of the parts, but not too far away from the album, because otherwise it's not too live. It's going to be a bit different, but it's not that it's going to be a whole other sounds or a whole other drums. The second album we're going to do that's going to be a different. We think that the drum going to be more present. We think so, but we keep the first album as close as is in the CD.
Yeah, something I was going to say from listening to the album, the instrumentation sounds fairly well in balance. But if you've got a drummer who hits really hard, I think short of going into maybe like hardcore or metalcore, you could probably put the shells, the kick and the snare, maybe even a little bit louder in your future mixes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. The drum is going to be more present. That's sure. So yeah,
I think we all agree also that we have the next album or the new songs we will hopefully create. They will be maybe a little bit harder than the first album too. I think the first album we searched a little bit for different genres, different styles. I think we all feel the best in the more metal, more harder numbers than that are on the CD, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming to those numbers that are on the CD, we've got 2 tracks here, Keep On Going and then Breathe. So something about Keep On Going, even though it's a pretty heavy song and there's some wailing vocals in there as well, it kind of almost seems like a ballad in a way.
Yeah, that's why it had in a few months more than 12,000 views, I think, on YouTube. I think the strength of the number is the lyrics. Much people recognize their own in the lyrics, I think, and that's the strength of the song. That's
also the catchy refrain is. I think it's a sing along. People, it's easy to keep it in your head. So yeah.
When we played it live, that's the first song they always want to hear once again. So when we had to when they shall, we want more. It was always and what do you want that we play? Oh, Keep On Going. So yeah, it was live. It is an important song. So it's the audience, when they were asleep after Keep On Going, they were definitely awake.
They could keep on going after that song.
So we can keep on going for the next numbers. Yeah.
That's right. So does the music video then depict what the song lyrics are about?
There is some match, I think. They become visual, the thoughts of, but you can found many stories in the lyrics.
I think that the goal was to show that you have to be everything you want to be or you want to become. As if you are a kid or whatever, you have dreams, and if you believe you can do it, you have to do it. So you have to keep on going to get where you want to be. I think that's the main subject in the song. But you can tell a different story about it too if you want. But so that's how we interpreted the
people. It is when they have a lot of shit in their life. They need some words as keep on going to motivate to go on. So it can be part of many lives, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I really dig how it goes from the live footage and the, I don't know what you want to call it, the storyline footage, the storyline footage going to the live footage. I think that's very well done. And then Breathe also has another very well done music video as well, and it's the title track of the album. So kind of an important song then. Take us through Breathe, and is it about the album as a whole?
It is, when we were recording Breathe, there was a kind of chemics in the studio, and when we play it live, it's for us the song when we are losing ourselves when we are playing it. The chemistry of the song, we can't describe it. We don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's our favorite song, I think, for the whole band. When, like Gino said, when we play it live, it's we're getting into a certain zone. We go away from the world and we get into the song really. So that's why this is really our song, and this is why we call the album Breathe, I think. I think the song is even more appreciated live than on an album, because we can even put more feeling into the song, I think, than on the album. So
it's also long now. It's 10 minutes. On the last part, when it's move up really to the next level, you're also 6 minutes away. So it's a long time, but it has his story, and every part of the song has his own story. Every musician is telling his story with his instrument in it. So it's our song, and we that's only, and that's a secret now, but we will tell it for the listeners in Canada. It's the only song we played without click track. There was when we tried it a whole day to play it with click track. There are 3 parts in it with a different tempo, and but the groove was away. So it was like mechanical, and we did it all over again, and one take, and the groove was in it, and it was like we wanted. It is now on the album.
Wow, I mean, and I wouldn't even know that there's no click track. I mean, I guess if I put a metronome to it, I'd probably figure that out. But I mean, if you can play together as a band, then you don't need a click track. And I think something you mentioned there was you guys wanted to put more. You're able to put more feeling into the song live than on the recording. However, something that you mentioned there was when we put the click track in, it was even less feeling. So I guess my question is how do you go about putting the live like vibe into the recording?
It's the way we are playing our instruments. I think Hans is also doing a great bass solo in it. In metal, it's you never heard. You don't hear that a lot, but it's a sort of story we'll tell, and live you see everybody in an exciting movement to tell the story, and it's a difficult question to answer.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, in one of the music videos, I think it's "Keep Going On," you guys show some pictures of some old school metal guys who definitely had bass solos in there. So is that a nod back to, say, early Metallica or Motorhead or any of those cats?
But
why not?
There are definitely influences of them in all our songs. Metallica, Motorhead, we are from the 90s, so we are growing. Now we become older and much wiser guys. So there are definitely influences of but we want to have our own sounds also. Not a Metallica sound or not a Motorhead sound. We want to have our own sound. So, but there are definitely influences of them.
Yeah. Now, something you mentioned also as well, and something I noticed was "Breathe" is a 10-minute song. Why? Why a 10-minute song? Why not just cut it off?
But sometimes we play it live. It can be 15 minutes. It is really, when we are in the mood, we just keep playing and
that was the problem. We had to put in some structure. At first, we just played something, and then we didn't know where it would end or when it would end. So then for the recording, we had to put some structure in it. I think now we are in a time zone that we all accepted and we all liked very much, because there's the tempo is switching. So I think for me it's not a song that is annoying. Maybe for some people it will be, but for us it's our little child. So
it is a story we want to tell, and when you leave 3 minutes out, you're gonna
lose part.
Story. So we can't take out any part of it. So that's our story. That's the story of Liquid Therapy, and we wouldn't leave it that way.
All right, very cool. Now, I believe that concludes all of my questions. We covered 2 tracks on the album. We covered the album. We covered what you guys have been up to during this time. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to chat about that I did not ask?
No, when can we come to Canada?
But I will do the same. We want to play in Canada also. So I hope the listeners will like our music, and they search on YouTube. The way we have 5, all the numbers are on YouTube, on Spotify, or on. We have lyrics videos. We have 5 visual clips. So there is a lot to find out. So I hope that the Canadian people will like our music, and maybe will come over to play.
One fine day.
One fine day, baby.
Or take our snow boots with us.
Depending on when you get here, you're probably going to need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know. Can you guys handle minus 40 degrees Celsius?
Absolutely.
Minus 40. What the hell? No, we don't. We stay here.
You can handle everything.
Yeah. Kind of depends on where you're at. If you go to more than likely you'd be in like Toronto and Montreal, and it can get that cold. Usually it's like minus 20 Celsius, but
Jesus.
it's still pretty chilly over there.
What about minus 100 Celsius?
Minus 100 Celsius. Well, you just go a little bit further north.
I think they play out south down now. They don't, you don't have gigs in south.
In Toronto and Montreal are pretty south. Canada's very far north.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And because we're so inland, like you guys are warm because you get the breeze off of the Atlantic Ocean, but we don't get that breeze, so we're inland, so it gets freaking cold. It's like Russia. It's cold.
Yeah. For sure.
If you guys didn't have that breeze, it would get cold too. Yeah, it's what is it? Chicago is on the same line as Paris, so that gives you an idea of how far north Canada is.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, basically it'd be like you guys going to the north of like Sweden or Finland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Russia is also not so far from here.
Yeah, not too shabs. Not too shabs, baby. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
It was our pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, of course.